We're at Savas Center near downtown St. Louis, Indiana State and Creighton in our first semifinal game here in Arch Madness. Let's take a look at our lineups, a presentation of Bud Light. First, for Indiana State, Matt Wren is one of the more courageous players you'll ever see. All-Valley selection and playing with a bunch of injuries. We talked about Conte on the top. Here's a real good backcourt. Keelan Block is the silent assassin. He has had a bunch of big shots to win games. For Indiana, they call Michael Menzer Miracle Michael. He is the nation's leader in assist-to-turnover ratio. And here is a great guy and an even better coach, Royce Waltman. Last year, he was the Valley Coach of the Year. He quite simply has stopped all the talking in Indiana State about Larry Bird. They're talking about current Indiana State basketball and how good it is. His counterparts over against the Creighton Blue Jays on the front line. The three-headed monster starts with Alan Huss. You're going to see, though, Dabbert in there along with Piper. Taylor and Corver, very good, flanking him. Two good sophomores. Here's Salt and Pepper, the Salt and Pepper guard duo of Creighton. Pepper is Walker, one of the best rebounding guards you'll see in America, and Salt is Ryan Sears, All-Valley selection, and Dana Altman. Dana Altman, 7 years, is getting ready to take something, do something for Creighton they've never done. 4 postseasons in a row, 3 NCAA tournaments in a row. He was the Valley Coach of the Year, Charlie, and deservedly so.
Right, and I'm glad you circled Pepper because I was always having trouble with that. So now we got that straight. This should be a great basketball game. These two teams like each other, I think, Mitch. I think they have such respect. The coaches do, the players do. This will be as hard fought as any game you have, but I think it'll be a game that people will really, really enjoy.
The game could be played at the nickel table. We'll show you a little panel here early. The nickels are the guards for these two teams. The point guard, Sears, number 5 for Creighton. He's matched up against number 5 for Indiana State, Michael Menzer.
There's going to be there'll be good matchups all day long. And just to see, I think, how they're going to guard each other and how this thing's going to be played out.
Corver, quick one over Wren.
Wow. Defense was good enough then, Mitch. There was nothing wrong with the defense. That's just a good shot.
Second in the league in three-point makes. Second in the league as well in three-point percentage is Corver. Had 17 yesterday. Block's got a chance for a three-point play.
And you get a foul, and it looks like probably on Sears. Did he get the call?
Yes, it is.
And he got a bump on the leg to boot, so that's a pretty good start.
Keelan Block, one of the more underappreciated players in the league. Charlie, he does great things for Indiana State.
Yeah, you called him the silent assassin, but I think probably opposing coaches think he's pretty loud when things are going down.
Man-to-man by Indiana State. And it's almost like Indiana State has picked up some adrenaline and new life. When we saw them against Creighton and Terre Haute, they were a tired team.
They were tired. The game wore them down. As you mentioned, the three-headed centers, I think that was part of it, and also the press. I think the press makes people have to do things they don't want to do.
And Ben Walker will wear you down. He gets a basket and a chance for a three-point play. The strength of Ben Walker is amazing.
Yeah, he does not play like a guard, other than the fact he can really handle a basketball and he can shoot it from outside. But he gets so much done once you get into the darker area of the paint.
Spoon, did you ever have a guard that got you 7 boards a game?
I didn't have any centers that got 7 boards a game.
Everybody's getting three-point possessions here. It's 6-3. 3 possessions, and all 3 times they led to 3 points for the team.
What you do if you're Creighton, you wear people down and you make Wren have to do so many things. For example, inbounding the ball, sprinting up the floor. All that wears you down.
Marcus Howard turning it over, but Howard was big in that win over Southern Illinois yesterday.
Yeah, you don't expect freshmen to step up and play as well as Howard did yesterday. That's for sure.
Tied his career high with 14 points and hit some big shots in the second half. Both teams starting man. Creighton will throw the whole sink at you from a defensive perspective.
Who do you think knows the offense better? The team running offense or defense?
Huss. Conte defends, 10 to shoot. Corver. The one-handed runner. Wren gets the board. Menzer. He'll hit from that distance.
That's death and taxes. Menzer from right there.
He'll hit from 4-point range. Ask Indiana. Sears gets sped up and a rare turnover by Ryan Sears.
Menzer, you have to find, of course, you got to do the same thing with Sears, but when you come down the floor in transition, somebody had better pick him up, because that's going to be a basket.
Here's a look at Michael Menzer, #1 in the nation in assist to turnover ratio. Wren takes Sears to the cup. They're going to wave it off and call a player control offensive foul on Matt Wren.
The thing that happens to you when you make a move like the one right here, you beat one man, but then the help defense is there waiting on you. Huss takes the lick, big play.
And a charge called. Sometimes that deep, they'll let the bump go, but in that instance, they call the offensive foul on Wren. 6-6 tie. Might be an illegal screen here. Yes, it is. Huss called for a moving pick, Spoon.
Well, that's what you have to do. You have to. Sometimes you have to move to get people open. And I'm sure Dana Altman doesn't like the foul, but he also knows that people are trying to get people open.
Watch Royce here helping Paul Jansen all he can.
I think that probably these officials won't have to worry. They won't be short on help today.
Marcus Howard one-on-one over Python, the freshman. Marcus Howard from Elgin, Illinois, puts Indiana State in the lead.
He must not know this is the semifinals of the conference tournament.
Enliven Python, the second head of the three-headed monster, is in the game and has drawn a foul on Jabril Conte.
Fouls are going to be more of a problem for Indiana State. Their bench is not as deep, and if they keep picking up fouls on the inside, that could be a huge problem.
Creighton is excellent at scoring on inbounds plays. They torched Southwest Missouri State on them yesterday. Power on power. Indiana State gets the turnover. Nope, Sears has it back. The all-time leader in Valley steals, but he loses it to Conte.
Sears is going a little quicker than usual, I think, right now.
Walker can't get the board. Conte just stronger, out of bounds to Indiana State. Yeah, Ryan Sears does look sped up.
Just a little bit, and that's very much unlike him. But then you have to think this is a very, very huge basketball game for both these teams.
Justin Haynes comes in. Yesterday in the first half, it was a close game with Southwest Missouri State, and Dana Altman played 13 players in the first 20 minutes of the game. Block, fumbling. Wren bumps heads with Haynes. 20 to shoot. Wide open Conte.
Excuse me, Mitch, that's a big basket. Anytime you get points from the inside in this game, it helps. It's a huge help because your perimeter, you do rely so much on perimeter scoring.
Good passing angle that time for Indiana State. Python has been great late in the season, and Conte has his second foul. Now, this is what happened to Indiana State and Terre Haute earlier.
Well, Conte is just coming off a very fine offensive play. He burns Python right here, seals him off, gets a great entry pass and scores, but comes back and picks up the second foul, and that's what Indiana State can ill afford.
16-10 left in the half. 10-6 Indiana State.
Look at
Haynes
got
bleeding. Was that the collision?
Yeah,
with
it was
Wren?
the collision with Wren. I was going to say it looked a little bit like Holifield's fight last night, but he's cut pretty. That's not the proper terminology. He's cut pretty good.
Cut pretty good. That's what it works in Smith Center, Kansas, and Rogers, Arkansas.
Well, I think everybody has a pretty good idea what we mean. He got smacked, and I would imagine that there'll be a little work done here.
Need the fight doctor, Freddie Pacheco. Lindemann in now. Michael Lindemann in for Creighton.
Wren none the worse for wear from the headbanging. Whoop.
Taylor hounded by Howard.
Taylor's on quite an adventure there.
12 to shoot. Inside Piper.
Whoa, look at Piper. And that's the thing. Remember, Mitch, we talked about it, that he did not do earlier in the year, and right now he is a very fine offensive basketball player.
The only blip on the screen was yesterday when he was 2 for 5 and able to finish against SMS. He's shooting 67% from the field. Avery has got to give Indiana State a game today. Lindemann, good defense by Creighton.
You have to have rebounding from other people rather than just Pyfron, because if he's going to try to block shots, somebody else is going to have to clean up the boards. Menzer doing a nice job on Sears. Not very many open looks for Ryan Sears so far.
Sears only 8 yesterday. Walker didn't even score in the first game Creighton played in the tournament.
Sears and Menzer are two guys that when they say, I don't care if I score as long as my team wins, I believe them.
1 second. I'm not sure he's going to get it off. Did he get it off? They're going to allow the shot. Block chases it down for Indiana State and stepped out. Lindemann was chasing him and forced the turnover. And we've got the under-16 timeout. We expected a hard-fought game. We've got it. Liven Pyfron has Creighton within 2.
Yeah, it's kind of like that. Introducing a shockingly refreshing new lemon lime. Sierra Mist.
Come on, people.
By expanding the narrow pipeline information passes through, AT&T's broadband technology is removing the obstacles that keep data, voice, and video from moving freely. Coming through.
Minute Abs would like to celebrate over 5 years of great abs with a special anniversary offer.
I went from this flabby spare tire to a washboard stomach. Thanks, 8 Minute Abs.
A $20 value. You can order 8 Minute Abs right now for only $9.95. 8 Minute Abs uses a series of simple movements scientifically designed for great abs. Call now and we'll include a $5 rebate coupon. That's right, just $4.95 with rebate. Call 1-800-257-5700.
Crap here. Indiana State leading 10-8. Here's your double nickel matchup here. The point guards, excellent numbers for both these guys.
Well, you've got two really good players, as we said. That's two guys you honestly believe if they say, I don't care if I score as long as my team wins. And they'll fight each other. There'll be some ebb and flow in what they do. One guy will play good for a while, and then the other guy. But they're both going to be out there for about 35 to 38 minutes. So we'll get plenty of time to watch them.
I said it was a Gettysburg game when Creighton was able to rally at Terre Haute. But Spoon, I know you remember the Gettysburg shot of the Gettysburg game. 1 second on the shot clock when Sears hit that deep three.
Deep three, and it was huge. And at the time, he had not been doing very much in terms of scoring. Nice out-of-bounds play here.
They're great at it, I'm telling you. They get awesome looks out-of-bounds plays, and Korver has 6. That is his 6th 3 make of the tournament.
Sears still seems as though he's moving a little faster than what he wants to. He still seems like he's in a little bit of a hurry.
There's a kick by Sears.
And a good no call there because that was correct.
Matt Berrien now, a freshman from Tulsa for Indiana State. Back cut. Duran banks it in.
Shot it over Pyfron. Pretty good help by Pyfron. Maybe not as definitive as you'd like to see the help, but he was still there.
Matt Wren looks a little refreshed to me.
He does to me, too. Of course, he's going to have to spend a lot of time out on the floor today for Indiana State to win.
He's out on Korver right now. 12-11, Indiana State. Pyfron. Look at that play.
This is a new model. This is a different country heard from right here. That is not the way he played early in the year.
I'm not sure Dana Altman's ever seen him do that before.
Nobody likes it.
And they're going right after Indiana State's belly again, just like they did in the second half in Terre Haute. A three by Berry. Typhon is impacting the game.
Well, he's playing, and he doesn't have Conte out there to deal with, and that's very important. Nice job done by Menzer. You see, he didn't give up and just help because he didn't have to. The defense was handling the dribbler all right. Too many times guys help for no reason.
Little counter cut by Sears, cut off by Menzer. 10 to shoot.
Hard play here because you're down to 3 seconds.
Sears, leaner, over Menzer for two.
And he's banged Menzer on the arm. We're going to have to have a timeout. Menzer took a shot to the arm, and I hope it's just a bang, but he's holding his wrist right now.
He is holding his wrist and took a shot, and he is in a great amount of pain. Let's look and see if we can pick it up.
I don't see how he got hurt, but it's his right wrist that he's holding. And that's just a huge shot, too. Don't forget the shots made. That's the other thing.
It's hard to tell from the replay. It looks like they got him on the back of the wrist.
You've got one starter on the floor right now for Creighton. And that's Walker. Walker's the only starter out on the floor. Everyone else is brand new for Creighton, so you ought to have a lot of energy.
And one of these guards for Indiana State now has to play the best game of his season to pick it up for Menzer. Foul on Creighton. Somebody was grabbing Matt Berry on the inside dribble. It was Ismail Carroll. Creighton has rallied. Kyle Korver has 6. Indiana State is checking out the injury to Michael Menzer.
Hey, you've been there, haven't you? You wonder, did I make that last deposit? Can I write a check today? Do I feel lucky? Look, you shouldn't have to guess. This is the information age. So check your account on the internet, free from Commerce Bank. See what's cleared, what hasn't, 24 hours a day. Call them or visit their website. And then you can depend on internet banking instead of your luck. Hey, it's your money.
Where can you find a soybean that yields up to 3.5 bushels better in reduced tillage? Introducing residue-proven varieties from Asgrow. Soybeans bred specifically for fast emergence, strong disease resistance, and yields up to 3.5 bushels higher in reduced tillage systems. Look for the new residue-proven Arrow at your Asgrow dealer. It's your sign of a more profitable soybean.
Yeah, I'm the ultimate competitor. GOAT, G-O-A-T, etc., etc. Light years ahead of ya. They chose me instead of ya. Corny cats is better to give praise to the greatest. Silence all challenges. LL ambidextrous, switch the left hand on ya. Leave it on the floor, pure, raw stamina. I said my game's hardcore. Leave it on the floor. Whoa, whoa, whoa. Hey, hey, hey. I said my game's hardcore. Leave it on the floor.
Indiana State has received a blow. Michael Menzer, Miracle Michael Menzer, their great senior, has a wrist injury. Let's take a look at it as trainer Dave Ralston works on Menzer. Looks like he gets it caught up in here in traffic. Got him between the arms of Sears, it looks like.
That's a strange injury, but it's obviously a lot more severe, and I don't know. That was I think, too, that was more of an opportunity to draw a foul, trying to get Menzer to foul than anything.
Block missing from the outside. Now, Michael Menzer's a tough kid, too.
Yes,
we're not talking about a guy that doesn't have a high threshold of pain.
No, if there's any way to play, he'll be out there playing.
15-12, Creighton. 11:35 left in the half. Dr. John Klein on the floor for Creighton. He's played great minutes yesterday for against SMS for the Blue Jays.
He had the run-out basket in the ball game at Indiana State that was big in the turnaround.
Klein is fouling. He thought it was malpractice. It's have to go to Indiana State.
That's a tough call. I mean, you go catch the ball with both hands, and you're declared the robber and the brigand.
Might be his fingers, Spoon, or his hand, the back of his hand. It originally looked like his wrist, but it might be then that back side of his hand.
At least he's moving his fingers, and it's I guess if you're Royce Waltman, that's he's trying to act like that's not what he's worried about. But
Gabbert defending on Avery. Bad pass by Wren. Creighton by 3. Sears. Taylor's got it.
Had another wreck right there.
Yeah, Keelan Block's looking for an insurance agent.
He just took a good lick.
Wren's got the rebound for Indiana State. A bruised right elbow. Is the Menzer injury? See some nerve problems in the hand as Block gets a barely needed bucket for Indiana State.
Block is apparently only hurt on the defensive end, because that was a pretty good move. And the cheer you hear is Menzer.
This is like Braveheart, Spoon. We got guys out here head button, hands cut off.
As we said, these are two teams that like each other.
Now wait till the next game. The two teams don't like each other. That'll really be Braveheart.
We're going to have sponges out here because there's blood everywhere.
They'll be taking hammers on each other's head. Menzer's back in the game, along with Howard.
Menzer's tough enough to walk back out here. The question will be now when he tries to shoot a ball, because there's no way to know how it's going to feel until he does it.
15-14 Creighton midway through the first half. Using the left hand here. Well, not bad.
The last two guys we've declared to be injured for Indiana State have scored.
Creighton's on a fast break off a made basket. Sears, Walker has struggled from the outside. In the tournament, late in the season, foul on Creighton. Now watch this. It's pretty good for a hurt kid.
Yeah, our last two injury guys have done pretty well. That's Block and Menzer. Menzer's, he's got a rest. He usually doesn't get that in a game, so he's had a chance to rest.
Here's Menzer again on the dribble. Conte's got it. Well, that's a bucket and assist. I think he's feeling better.
Yeah, I don't think we need to talk about his problems anymore.
18-15, Indiana State has the lead. Hush. Deep against Avery. Bodies fly again. Take a look at this. When I was giving the Gettysburg analogy, I was just kidding earlier. This looks like Little Round Trot, the 20th Maine holding off the 15th Alabamians. Look at Haynes. He's already seen the cut doctor.
He's been to see the fight doctor, and everybody else has got whacks on the head. This has been a very physical basketball game. I don't know what Dana's question is there, but he's probably wondering how the guy with blood running off him is getting all the fouls called on him. Must be self-inflicted wounds.
Indiana State's in the 1-1 now. And Keelan Block is 74% at the line for the year.
Royce Waltman's taking a calculated risk right here by putting Conte back in. Still got almost half of the half to go. If you could get a couple of minutes out of him and get him out and not get that third foul, that would probably be what he'd like to do.
Spoonich also 6 unanswered points with him out there. Creighton threw it away again, just a little sped up.
What you're seeing now, you're seeing Conte, rather than being on the inside where there's a lot of contact, they've moved him out on Corver, and that time they had a backdoor cut set up, but Sears just missed connection.
Sycamore's on an 8-0 run. Block got wide with a walk.
Still plenty of time on the shot clock. This game's a little bit quicker than what I thought it was going to be.
Menzer. Conte right back, and Miracle Michael, he's in jail. Avery and Huss has the board for Creighton. Creighton hasn't been able to get anything out of their Piranha press.
No, press hasn't done much. Press hasn't done much, and they've been unable to run and get any baskets just on quick outs, and that's where they usually do it.
Uh-oh, Korver's wide open this time.
Yeah,
the layup for him.
Conte helped then, because that's what you're taught all the time, is to help, and then you get in a game like this, and they say, well, you can't leave a guy. Sometimes tough to do.
7 threes for Korver in a game and a half in this tournament. 8 minutes left. Indiana State by 2. Howard loads one up.
Big help from the freshman. But doing this, Indiana State is without Wren.
Sears, bucket, count it. He's going to the line. Well, nobody was waiting for the 15th round in this one. They're just going for the knockout right here.
The thing you like about these two little guards, and that's just about the time you think, well, they're just out there playing. Then they do something huge like this right here, and they both do it. I'm talking about both Menzer and Sears.
Team called timeout. 5th timeout, or 5th foul, I should say, on Indiana State. Sycamore's playing well, lead the 1 seed by 3.
Sometimes life's not fair, but you can make it equal with great taste and 0 calories. Sometimes life's not fair, but you can make it equal with great taste and 0 calories.
9.
In 1939, RCA introduced television to the public at the World's Fair. Color came to television in 1954 with RCA's model. Digital satellite TV became a thing. The future of television is high definition, 6 times sharper.
The people who brought you the television now bring you the next generation, making television as exciting as it was the very first time. RCA, changing entertainment again.
Indiana State leads 23-20. Don't be tricked by Royce Waltman. He looks like a vacuum cleaner salesman. He is about as fiery as it gets. He's now the Tasmanian Devil. He is a competitor. That's George Patton in his short coat.
I'm just wondering how long that jacket's going to last. Now, we've teased him so much that he may keep it on, but the jacket and tie have usually been something for the garbage bin after about 4 or 5 minutes, so he's really doing well today.
With Bob Knight for a long time at IU. He's won wherever he's been. I think he's only had 1 losing season in his coaching life. Ryan Sears hits the free throw, 3-point play. Indiana State leads 23-21.
Come on, Joey, let's have some of Grandma's old recipe ice cream.
Wow, it sure looks good.
It is, Joey. There's a whole world of wonderful flavors in her old recipe ice cream. It starts with fresh cream and cane sugar, then in go all kinds of other great tasting treats.
Gosh, did Grandma make it herself?
Of course not, Joey. She goes to the store and buys it like everybody else.
Taste the premium quality of old recipe ice cream from Prairie Farms.
There are things that make you feel alive. And then there are things that make you feel reborn. Explore St. Louis. There's more than meets the arch. Call 1-800-888-FUN1.
The search for the future is not difficult. It's right at hand if you know where to look. At Phillips Petroleum Company, we see the promise of tomorrow. That's why we are so committed to producing better products that give us cleaner air and a cleaner earth. It's just good business. Something to think about the next time you need fuel.
Proof again that Phillips 66 is the performance company.
Well, the lead has changed hands 5 times already, and right now it's Indiana State by 2. Today's Prairie Farms Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete is Creighton's Ryan Sears, a senior from Ankeny, Iowa. Sears is a 4-year starter for the Blue Jays, a 3-time Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete. Sears has a 3.4 cumulative grade point average in theology and is the first league player to record 1,000 points, 500 assists, and 250 steals. Academics are important to the Missouri Valley Conference. Let's salute Ryan Sears, today's Prairie Farms Missouri Valley Conference Scholar Athlete of the game. Back to Mitch.
And John, on Friday at the banquet, he was named the Scholar Athlete of the Year in the Valley. Planning on going into full-time Christian work, maybe with one of the traveling Christian basketball teams, after he's done in the collegiate ranks. Wren with a great look against Corver, but missed it way off.
Like his leg gave out just a little bit when he stopped and planted. And of course, he's had trouble with his left leg. That's fairly obvious. It's wrapped to the knee.
They basically have to staple him together to get him on the floor. Made by Mitch's Missouri Valley Marines. He's a real tough kid. He's played with incredible pain this season. Creighton just trying to sneak back into this one, trailing by 2 after Indiana State hit him with a pretty good run. Ismail Caro resting Walker.
Man defense all the way for Indiana State, and we've had about 3 different looks by Creighton.
Sears against block. Lindemann in there. Lindemann, Michael Lindemann with bonus 2 for Creighton.
Barely before the clock expired, too, was that follow.
And the Creighton bench continues to do good things for Dana Altman.
Now you see what Dana Altman's doing. He's running a 1-2-2 half-court trap, and then he's back to man. I think man out of this now.
Howard. Caro stepped out of bounds. Was it going to be off Creighton?
You don't know on something like that. You never know. He may have hit the ball, and that's why he's out there chasing it. He may know more than the officials do.
A little Hawkeye flavor in this game for Creighton. We'll talk about that in a second. 23-23 ties. 6:19 left in the first half. Indiana State playing tough and playing well. Deep catch, Avery.
You said it right. Deep catch. He caught the ball right under the goal, and you just cannot give that up.
Sears looking like a NASCAR car around the 3rd turn. He'll go to the line.
Well, there was no caution flag up for him. He's going to the basket.
Look at this. Dana Altman's done a great job of recruiting Iowa. This roster, 4 Big Iowans on this team.
Sears was close to Iowa State. Of course, at the time, Tim Floyd was there, and he's mentioned over and over that Ryan Sears could have played for him, because we talked about him the other day. Corver, of course, such a great scorer, but you're getting help out of the doctor and also out of Lindemann.
If I'm not mistaken, Nick Collison was from Iowa Falls, Iowa, the kid at KU that would have played with Lindemann.
Not a bad hand also.
Not bad.
Good steal right there on the overclock.
Matt Wren sets up Menzer for 3. Robbed by the ring. Howard. Free throw. This kid's really improved, Spoon, since we saw him early in the year.
Yeah, Howard has had such a nice game yesterday, but he's not, well, of course, you're not a freshman anymore, Mitch. When you've played this much basketball at the big-time level, and make no mistake about it, the games that Indiana State's played them big-time games, you're not a freshman now.
Fyfrom fouled him. That's Lyvan Fyfrom's first. Look at Matt Wren, made the All-Missouri Valley Conference team. 7 steals against Indiana. In case you did know, Indiana State has beaten Indiana 2 consecutive seasons. Howard, 2 free throws. Indiana State has a fruitful 4-point lead.
Playing Walker pretty soft, because as you mentioned, he's had problems with his 3, so you can afford to back off him a little. As I say that, he'll probably hit him.
For some reason, we've seen Creighton so rhythmic on offense. But today, that tempo just doesn't seem to be there. And I say that Walker's going to the line for a three-point play. Maybe.
Glad I didn't agree with you before that basket went in.
Walker didn't even score yesterday, Spoon. He was 0 for 8 against SMS.
When your team wins and you're Walker and Sears, you just, those sort of things just are not really that big a deal. Now, if you're a guy who's pretty hung up on individual honors, well, that could be a problem for you.
That was the thing that was impressive yesterday about Walker. Didn't score a point, but didn't count once. He was doing other things to help his team.
Well, I've seen both of these teams have guys that you count on scoring have less than splendid nights, but they don't let it bother their defense. They don't let it bother anything. They just keep playing.
Men's are a better athlete than he's given credit for. Brings it up against the press. Creighton in the man. There's the 2 fouls matched up. Sears wins this battle.
Menzer did a nice job of getting open off the dribble, though.
Walker's getting the field. He has had trouble from three-point range. It's his first 3 of the tournament.
That will change if he hits a couple of those. That'll change the way people have to play him. And that makes life a lot more difficult for the defense.
And they look rhythmic once again. Offensive foul. Avery runs over Huss.
Might have been a small acting job by Huss, because I don't think it's quite that easy to take Huss down. although he got smacked right in the nose, maybe that helps it a little.
Here's your little salt and pepper going on again.
Well, they're playing, we said that, they're playing Walker a little softer because the 3 hadn't gone, and he's been scoring his baskets off dribble penetration. He hits a couple of those, and it does change life.
What is uncanny, Spoon? They have played 244 games at Creighton, 122 apiece. Haven't missed a game, either one.
I don't think the team doctor should at least get a cold or something.
Who's doing the conditioning?
Back door. Set up back door then.
Walker is on fire. He has been All-Valley tournament the last 2 years. Sears off balance. Wren got it.
A little bit of a forced shot then. I think Sears was looking to pass.
Block has had a good half. Menzer doesn't matter how deep he is. A little too deep that time. Huss has the board.
I can't believe that Walker let Huss have the rebound, even if he is on his team, because he wants the basketball when it goes off the glass.
(29-27) Creighton. 3:45 left in the half.
Defensive pressure has set up the opportunities for back doors for Creighton, but I tell you, the pressure has made it hard to make the pass. They haven't been able to complete the pass.
4 to shoot. Walker over the block. Walker almost came out of there with it. Block attacks quickly.
Those are the kind of baskets that in a game like this are so huge. When you can get a basket out of transition or off a steal or with a center getting the basket, it just makes it feel like it's worth about 6 points.
The answer to Ben Walker for Indiana State is this kid. Watch Keelan block.
He just sprints the floor. Look at this. And of course, who finds him but Menzer? The defensive transition is so important, and those are the points that win close games.
The block is a strong kid too. Much like Ben Walker, Spoon, he was recruited to play football. In fact, many thought that he would play collegiate big-time football. He was a very late signee when he signed with Indiana State out of Kansas City, Kansas, Sumner High School.
Well, football is it's been good preparation for the first half of this game today, because we've had some slobber knocking. So I'd say that the football part of it would be pretty good. It does help you because it makes you stronger. And we've noticed that about Walker, where some guys get tired late in the year. He's still fresh as bait.
A little over 3 left in the half. Game tied at 29. Sears has an angle. Avery helped him. Wren comes out of there with it. Wren with a bunch of boards.
And you mentioned earlier, Wren is playing with good legs today. He's fresh.
Avery's deep. Second underneath catch and score for Terrence Avery.
Well, Avery's running straight to the rim. He's straight to the rim and then turning around, and Huss is playing behind him, and as you said, too deep. He's just way, way too deep.
6 rebounds from Matt Wren. Indiana State's caught Creighton at their own game here a couple times. Getting down the floor quickly.
Illegal screen again, I'm sure. Huss, and that's twice, but Huss has been caught with an illegal screen.
And Creighton is in the 1-and-1. It was an offensive foul committed without possession of the ball. It'll be 1-and-1 for Indiana State.
Mike Sanzier is obviously a very, very good official. Usually when you see a guy call illegal screens, it's a good official. You don't see that call. Guys that are not as experienced spend more time worrying about guys walking and who's tripped who. The good ones see a lot of stuff.
Menzer, he'll get the bonus. Menzer, who has been one of the nation's leading free throw shooters all 4 years at Indiana State. 83 this year. He was 9 of 10 in the opening round victory over Southern Illinois. We're going to step aside here. We told you it'd be a good game. We got a great one going on here. Indiana State has brought their lunch pail to work. They lead the 1 seed by 4.
9.
In 1939, RCA introduced television to the public at the World's Fair. Color came to television in 1954 with RCA's farm. Digital satellite TV became a big. The future of television is high definition, 6 times sharper.
The people who brought you the television now bring you the next generation, making television as exciting as it was the very first time. RCA, changing entertainment again.
Hello. For the last few years, you've seen me on TV talking about my favorite piece of exercise equipment, the Torso Track. Well, I have got great news. Now it's even better. It's called the Ultra Track. You see, the Ultra Track does everything the Torso Track did for your abs and upper body, but so much more. Now you can target all those problem areas like the belly, the inner thigh, outer thigh, hips, and even the butt, all in one easy and really fun machine. The Ultra Track, my problem solver, and it really works.
Call now and we'll send you an Ultra Track to try in your own home for 1 month, risk-free. If you decide to keep it, we'll give you a year to pay, interest-free.
Call 1-800-720-5499. That's 1-800-720-5499. Call now.
I don't put anything out there until it's something that I found for myself that I use and that I love. I cannot sell anything if I don't love it. I love the Ultra Track.
It leads it by 4. Let's take a look at the Missouri Valley Conference standings, brought to you by Edward Jones. More than 125 years of experience helping individuals build financial security. Edward Jones. And as you can see, the top 4 teams listed right there are the 4 teams that we have in our semifinal round. And Mitch, I might get a little bit loud in here for that second semifinal, Illinois State and Bradley.
Oh, we've given all these Civil War analogies. You'll see it big time with Bradley, Illinois State. Now, you mentioned Jabril Conte at the outset of the telecast, Spoon, as pipe from inside will get a bucket. Against Avery, who's replaced Conte, who's been in foul trouble.
And that was a great bit of substitution work by Royce Waltman, because he put him back, got a couple baskets, got some good defense, and then now he's got him back on the bench and he's still got the lead. And that's what you try to do. That's why you get paid money to coach.
Indiana State finally turns it over against the Creighton press. That is the first time that's happened in this game. Taylor ties the game. Press hadn't done much until a bucket, now turnover bucket, ties it up. Wren been all over the boards, tips it out to Menzer.
That's one of the things. If you can get people to shoot the ball or to get out of their rhythm and out of their offense and playing faster, that's just as good as anything you can do. That's as good as a steal. And the other thing I started to say is where people are a little remiss is the ball shot and they don't rebound it in your press. If you rebound missed shots, that's just as good as a steal.
Tied up at 33, minute and a half left, first half.
Korver's not getting very many looks, and that's Wren guarding him.
Sears. Taylor was good yesterday.
Unbelievable.
5 for Tate.
He bailed Creighton out there because it was nearly a turnover by Sears under the basket. He turns it into a basket and a lead.
And Creighton watches Menzer just light him up again. He's got 10, 2 threes.
While Dana Altman was chastising his defense, his offense almost scored on a run out, which would have made him very, very happy.
Tied up at 36. Menzer wide open. Creighton just let him shoot a layup. Looked like a layup drill.
The little guards are just amazing. Look at them.
There's a layup drill on the other end.
They are just a sight now. You get your money's worth watching these two guys. I swear.
Look at Menzer.
And I'm wondering where Eifram, I know, is thinking he's going to pass it. I know that little guy ain't going to shoot that ball. He's going to pass it to my man, and I'm waiting on him. Unfortunately, he lays it in.
Time for the great equalizer, brought to you by Equal Sweetener. Backcourt scoring. Indiana State has doubled up on Creighton. 2-1 Spoon in backcourt scoring.
And a free throw miss. And so here you go now with the lead and the ball.
Shot clock, game clock, almost identical, about 0.2 of a second difference.
And this is important right here. Stop here makes one team feel good. A basket sends Indiana State home really happy.
Watch the end of the half. Menzer will work against six. Way out.
He's not far enough out.
How far was that, Charlie? 19-9, 25, maybe 27 feet.
I'm telling you, you're not supposed to have to guard that shot.
Michael Menzer from Pluto.
Look where he is. Look at this.
That's 19-9. Spoon, that's getting out in that 30 range.
Well, I swear, this is not bad defense. You think you're going to have to guard him at the head of the circle, and he nails that thing with 1 on the clock.
John Walters from maybe beyond Pluto. The lead is Indiana State with Michael Menzer going nuts. Let's go to John Walters.
Apparently that elbow is okay for Michael Menzer. He scores the last 8 points in the first half and had 15 in the first half as Indiana State trying to upset the top seed Creighton, which has won this tournament the last 2 years. It's a 41-36 game at the half in favor of the Sycamores. A first half that included 9 lead changes. Quite an entertaining first half to watch. Our second semifinal will be Bradley and Illinois State, but we still have some business to take care of here. Indiana State and Creighton in a good one. We'll be right back. Michael Menzer, the senior for Indiana State, scored the final 8 points of that first half for the Sycamores. Let's go down to the floor and Mitch Holtis.
And John, I'm not on Voyager. This is where Michael Menzer shot the last shot of the half from. In Spoon, this is about 30 feet. We're talking about, I stepped it off at about 29 feet on that last shot.
You just walked in from Menzerville. Unbelievable. I could not believe he was going to shoot it from there, but we ought to be used to it by now.
Let's take a look at more Michael Menzer highlights.
And this was after his injury. Here he is playing defense. Sears is trying to draw the foul. Menzer ends up hurting his elbow. Comes back, though. Comes back with a vengeance. Gets a basket his first time back after we look at him and we think he may be done for the day. Gets a basket on a drive to the goal. Now we wonder, is his elbow strong enough to shoot? I guess we know the answer to that by now.
He could shoot it from half court. Here was a layup where Creighton just lost the help side. And here's the last shot. Look at that thing. Near 30 feet on a three-pointer right over the top. And you mentioned Sears is right in his grill.
Sears did a good job. There's nothing wrong with the defense by Ryan Sears. That is a great offensive play, period.
41-36 Indiana State. Let's go to our Pepsi first half stats.
Stats don't really tell you anything you don't know, Mitch. Not much difference in turnovers, There's not much difference in rebound. Both teams shooting the ball well. The only real difference you got is that you got Menzer at the end of the half putting on his little spurt. The same thing, though, that Sears did earlier in the game.
Michael Menzer, the assist-to-turnover leader in the nation, is scoring today. He has 15 at halftime. Indiana State working on an upset. Well, you already seen Arch Madness. It's a gorgeous day in St. Louis, called the best sports city by the Sporting News. And inside, we got all kinds of emotion. We also have some great guard play. The 2 5s, Spoon, are just slugging it out.
They're doing a great job. And the thing about, we knew coming into this ball game that those kids are going to be the leaders for their ball club. Menzer has just gotten a little bit the best of it at the end of the first half. But the point that remains is Sears is doing a good job. Menzer's having a great game.
Let's take a look at the leading scorers in the first half for both teams. I told you Menzer is setting at 15. That's 3 threes, including the Pluto 3 at the end of the half from Menzerville, as Spoon calls it. Keenan Block has played well with 9 points. Creighton has balance. You get 9 from Walker, 9 from Korver, and yet you're down by 5 at halftime.
Well, you're giving up a few more points than what Dana Altman's used to giving up. His defense has been shredded a little bit by some outstanding play. Now, he's got to be thrilled to death. Matt Wren's only got 2 points. Yeah. But the thing Wren's done, Wren has limited Korver. He hasn't had enough touches. Mitch, he's only got 4 shots. He's hit 3. So that's the thing that Wren's doing. Wren's doing other things other than scoring. And as long as Menzer's going wild like this, he doesn't have to worry about it.
Let's put this in perspective, because Creighton's defense is underrated. Yesterday, in the quarterfinal win over SMS, Spoon, they gave up 41 points in the game, 14 in the second half. They've given up 41 at half.
Well, this is a pretty good offensive ball club, but you've got one player having just a career day, and that's the type thing that wins ball games.
Particularly in March. An 8-0 run by Indiana State in the last minute of the half, including the deep NBA-type 3 for Michael Menzer. Huss against Conte. He's got foul trouble, and Conte defended without fouling.
Defended without fouling, and that's important because Conte gave up position deep then and still got away with it. But Huss did the right thing by shooting the basketball.
Menzer, what a game he's having. I said he looks like Doogie Howser and plays like Allen Iverson. A shot missing deep from Korver. Foul on Creighton.
Yeah, the ball all over the rim and doesn't go in, and then Huss gets caught behind. Huss's 3 fouls have come in strange ways. 2 illegal screens and then over the back trying to rebound.
Alan Huss has picked up his 3rd foul. And all of a sudden now, Dana Altman is looking at a 7-point deficit.
Pyfrom in the ball game. In the past, you would have said is a defensive move, but today there's a lot of offense involved there with Pyfrom. He's got 6 points.
And that time, it was Conte to shovel a hole deep near the box and force a foul on Pyfrom.
I think what we're talking about here, Mitch, is the centers running, and getting to the block area, run to the rim, turn, and if you can get people on your hip or on your back, there you go. And there's a good back cut by Wren. And Wren, if you get some offense out of Wren to go with his rebounding and defense, now you're really getting something.
And there's the 3rd foul on Liven Pyfrom.
Well, a guy that's a shot blocker, right there, there's just a total loss of people. And Pyfrom's got little choice except to do that.
They were double covering Menzer. And somebody left Wren alone. Matt Wren, 3 points in the game. But here's where he ranks in the league, and this is why he's all Valley.
Well, and he's, along with the fact you mentioned, he's one of the tougher guys around. He playing hurt is he does it every game, every day when he practices hurt.
He had 24 against Creighton and Terre Haute this year. The game we had on television, Menzer is everywhere. Right now, this game belongs to Menzer. Blocked by Dabbert. They're going to call a foul on Joe Dabbert of Creighton.
Looks as though Creighton's going to need every one of those centers at the rate they're drawing fouls.
Yeah, the 3-headed monster, which allowed them to win in Terre Haute. He's limping right here.
Tell you, Ren's running the floor. He's going to be a very tired young man when this ball game's over because he does everything. He helps get it up the floor against the press. He defends. He runs the court.
And I want to remark again, Spoon, and we both said it, but Indiana State has caught a second wind here. They look so tired when we had them before. They had hit the iceberg. They were leaking oil.
They look pretty fresh right now, and they've got a 9-10 point lead they're working with. You've got to find a way to get a basket right now if you're Creighton.
And a 13-0 run wrapped around the half for Indiana State. And there's the way to get it changed.
Taylor's had very few touches also. Things have not been easy for anyone for Creighton to get a look.
This game is not unlike the one we had in Terre Haute. Indiana State led by 13 early in the half there, but Creighton rallied.
I felt like in the game at Indiana State that Menzer looked like, or the initiative was taken away a little bit by Sears in the first half of the ball game there. Here you've got the exact opposite.
Conte recovers on Dabbert. They had a full switch on. Conte's got his third foul. Look out.
And if you're Royce Waltman, you're shaking your head, and the whole point is you've got a guy that's in the middle of the lane, and you hate to foul him there. You hate to get a foul. Here you see it right here after Conte's going to drop back and find his man. And now here holding, he runs into him, puts his hands behind him, and they're going to catch you doing that every time. There's too many officials out there.
And Spoon, when the offensive or defensive player gets those elbows behind the hips of the opponent, they're going to whistle it up. Dabbert. Nothing doing in there. Klon, hacking, who gets it? Creighton's got it.
Wren gets a trip to the floor, which doesn't bother him. He's been there before.
He feels like a strip of linoleum. Anyway. Taylor. 8-point lead for Indiana State. Creighton has won 11 straight games. Taylor, that's offense. That's a good call.
It's a very good call. He did it the first time, and there's no call. Taylor bumps him once, and he doesn't hear a whistle. He thinks, I'll move him a little further out of the way here. I could get all the way to the goal. Bang, the second hit gets you.
5 team fouls now on Creighton. And we haven't even played 3 minutes yet in the second half.
And there you see what they're hoping to do. They're hoping to wear Wren down, but today it looks like the adrenaline's going to keep him going.
Menzer and Sears matched up. 15 to shoot. Menzer has been attacking Taylor. Almost got a strip.
Tough one-on-one right there. Sears is trying to get his team to play, and he's doing everything he can to get everybody back in the ball game.
Yeah, he's been out the lead of the platoon for 4 years.
Close to a carry then, but no call.
Block's real good at that on that inside attack dribble. Avery gets some trash. A dunk and a free throw.
And when you get baskets from your center position and you get them from people coming off the bench, then it's really huge, and all of a sudden back to 10.
And six team fouls on Creighton. Taylor fouling, hits his third personal. Avery, three-point play. He's got 7. The transfer from Northwestern. Good minutes for Royce Waltman. Biggest lead of the game for Indiana State.
Get an 11-point lead in a game like this, and your defense playing as well as Indiana State's, this can get to be a little bit binding as far as Creighton.
Sears, Dabbert cannot catch. Looked like a pretty good opportunity.
I thought the pass was there. I just didn't think Dabbert probably met it quite as forcefully as you have to against a defense like this one.
Wren double team. They left Menzer open. Look at this. That's the way this game has been. You got 3 guys trying to call timeout. I mean, it's biting and pinching and clawing. It's like a football fumble at the bottom of a football pile.
Well, this is a scrum right here, and I'm not sure how we're going to sort this out. Here you see the ball's knocked loose. Of course, who does it? Sears. Now here we go. And that's everybody wanting the ball. Corver's calling timeout.
Wren's calling timeout. Nobody has possession, so they give the call it a held ball, and the arrow goes to Creighton. Look, there's a headlock. That's a 2-point takedown.
That's a Cowboy Bob Ellis submission hold, and Corver won't submit.
49-38, Indiana State. Creighton needs some buckets.
Defense is very, very good right now by the blue shirts.
Walker.
And Walker hits a hard shot, Mitch. That's, if you can force your opponents to make baskets of that nature, you got a great chance to win.
Tell you what, you better defend on the dribble in this game because both of these teams are looking to attack. With a flex cut for Barry, it was shut off.
Wren's being forced to handle the basketball a little more. And that might wear him down, but then you see the three, but you didn't see the screen set by Wren probably, and he's the guy that frees up the shot.
20 points for Michael Menzer. His career high is 24 at Ball State earlier this year. 52-40, foul on Indiana State. And Avery took a shot to the chin for the Sycamores.
A shot to the chin is just the order of the day.
Oh, the medic. 15:07 left in the game. 52-40. Michael Menzer is burning him up.
This is Brett.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Just watching the market recap, drinking an import.
That is correct. That is correct.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Hey, Brett, who's that?
Hey, Chad, pick up the cordless. Chad here.
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
What are you doing?
Classic rock lives.
Enjoy yourself, kiddo.
Classic rock that really rocks. He's on 97.9, The Loop.
Excuse me while I kiss the sky.
Pink Floyd, Led Zeppelin, Van Halen, and the Stones. Classic rock lives on 97.9, The Loop.
The Last Word, weeknights at 11:30 on Fox Sports Net.
Weiss Waltman's team has the biggest lead of the game at 12, but still plenty of time to go. Here's a look at the National Car Rental scores and schedule from around the Missouri Valley Conference. At 41 points allowed by Creighton yesterday, the fewest points allowed by a Dana Altman coached Creighton team ever. Also yesterday, Indiana State knocked off Southern Illinois, and in the nighttime quarterfinals, it was Bradley holding off Northern Iowa, and a great run by Illinois State late, a 16-1 run to catch Evansville.
John, Michael Menzer has 13 points in the last 6 minutes. Did Walker get fouled? He did not. He lost control of the ball. It hits the basket support out of bounds to Indiana State.
Well, there's still a lot of time left in this ball game, but if you're Creighton, you start to worry about a team getting relaxed and confident, and that's what you're seeing right now in Indiana State.
Block. Avery can finish. Avery has 9 points.
Good catch by Avery then on a hard pass.
Avery getting good minutes with Conte in foul trouble. Conte comes to the table. Dabbert is fouled by Avery.
But Conte's going to going to come back into this ball game, but you're mentioning it. They are getting great production, and this is what happened vice versa at the game at Indiana State. When Indiana State went to the bench, nothing happened offensively. Everything happened for Creighton today. Little role reversal.
Joe Gabbert, 65% at the line. He is the cousin of Dan Issel. Great NBA player Dana Altman, who had to use a timeout in Terre Haute to get after his team to get him to rally. Trying to get his guys fired up here, yelling at his salt and pepper guards, Sears and Walker.
Dana Altman's ready to guard right now. You can see him moving around over there. He's ready to go, but he's got to get his teams. They need to get a couple of turnovers here to get themselves back in this ball game.
This press has forced only one turnover in this game. When that guy handles the ball, sometimes it's hard to get turnovers.
People are not trying to do things they can't do.
Foul Corbin trying to help on Avery. Indiana State now is going to be in the bonus the remainder of the game. We still have 14:25 left.
What happens to you if you're Creighton or anybody that's behind in a ball game like this? You try to do things that maybe a little bit too much. That time, with Pyfrom defending and the distance out away from the basket, that was probably not a good foul.
Avery, 1-1. His 10th point. He'll get the coupon toss.
Dead center today.
15-point lead. 15-point lead for Indiana State. The 1 seed is in trouble. Sears. A chance for a three-point. No, are they going to call basket interference? They're going to disallow a basket. Ryan Sears is going to get free throws, but he was on the verge of a three-point play. You see the reaction of the Valley Coach of the Year, Dana Altman.
I think probably Dana's not going to like the replay, because I think there's going to be the problem. Great play. Oh my, there it is. Unfortunately, officials are usually right.
Good call by Paul Jansen.
Makes it hard to be a coach and arguing.
How hard is it to say, okay, you were right?
Oh, after about the 20th or 30th time of the night, it gets sometimes a little difficult.
Terrence Avery now is in double figures for the first time since January the 23rd, when he had 16 against Drake.
Well, he's picked the right day, hasn't he?
Yes, he has.
If you're Indiana State, that's what you need in a game like this. You need someone to step up. You need some unexpected help.
But Miracle Michael is giving them expected help. Menzer. Sears trying to pick up his team defensively against Menzer. Berry. Pyfrom swats an offensive foul. Two Blue Jays went down, and Sears appears to be injured slightly.
And I think Sears drew the charge, filling and helping. You take a big chance. It's the right play to make if you're Sears. But I tell you what, you're taking a chance if you leave Menzer. Bang.
That hurts. As a coach, you try to teach those guards to take those charges, but you kind of grit your teeth going, here it comes.
After they've been through a couple of those, and if they don't get the call, it's a little hard to get them to muscle up that 3rd or 4th time.
They're like taking a whipping. Here it comes. Basket, here it comes. Ben Walker's got 13.
Well, who does it for you? It's got to be your two guards. And that's exactly what's happened. The 2 senior guards have stepped up.
Block is fouling. That's his 3rd. We saw Sears. Here is Walker. Oak Creek, Wisconsin. All-Valley tournament the last 2 years. 3-point play. He is sneaky with his points. He's got 14. Creighton's within 10.
And the block out of the game, it forces Wren down the floor. And again, he's going to have to do more things.
Wren. Menzer likes that spot.
Cannot help today off Michael Menzer. I mean, you've got to stick with him like an abalone.
And when he crosses the half court, he's in range, Spoon.
Well, we've seen that. I got tired just watching you walk back from where he shoots it from.
I was looking for a convenience store. And Conte's got his 4th foul, trying to take a charge.
Can't blame Conte for that. And here's the play. Look who gives the ball up. You've got one of your senior leaders, but why not give the ball up right over to there? Look at this. He's way too close. They should only give him 1.5 for that one.
Menzer 5 of 8 on threes. 23 points. He's working on a career high.
And Menzer usually only plays about 36 minutes a game. He could go overtime today because he had that rest with his injury.
That was a long way out there when I walked out there at halftime. I was having trouble breathing. That was rarefied air.
Normally when Conte sits down on a day like this and Avery comes in, you'd have a little apprehension. But today, Avery is having a great day.
Walker has 15. Split up here at the line. Creighton trying to stay within striking distance. It's been a long time since Creighton lost. 24-6. Great non-conference wins. One at Tulsa. One at Nebraska. And Indiana State getting right after him today. Look at Menzer.
This is Menzer's day, Mitch. Somebody else is going to have to work awful hard to trump what he's doing. Great drive. And this is after Sears has had to chase him around screens. When the help comes, it comes in the form of a foul.
Menzer has a career high 25 points. Indiana State last year made the NCAA tournament. They were the Valley regular season champions for the first time since the days of Larry Bird. You get a sense that these guys remember what it was like to go back to the party. They want to return.
Well, the lead was cut from 15 back down towards 10. But now you see plays like that just kill you. Now the game's getting away a little bit. 12:43 to go. If you're Creighton, you need to find a couple of baskets here, and you need to find a 3.
Good place to go for it. Not that time. Lindemann loses it out of bounds to Indiana State. And the Sycamores are working on whacking Creighton here. They lead by 15.
Well, that's what you wanted right there. You wanted a 3. And you get an open 3, but
remember this, though. The Blue Jays trailed by 13 in the second half and came back to win by 6 in Terre Haute. But Menzer wasn't going bonkers on that evening. Good ball movement. Good look for Sears. He's fouled on a 3-point attempt by Menzer.
Well, it's nice to see that Michael Menzer's human, because up to this point, it has not seemed so.
You know, I mentioned he's the nation's leader in assist-to-turnover ratio. Spoon, he's had 8 games this year where he's had no turnovers. Royce Walmart went back in one game. He was mad about his team turning it over. He counted something like 80 or 90 times Menzer had passed the ball and didn't turn it over. He's a remarkable kid.
Well, at the last official stat handout, he didn't have any turnovers today either.
2 free throws. Sears, he gets another one. Fouled on the 3-point attempt. It's a way to catch up in a hurry. Shoot 3 at the line with a guy that shoots 80% there, but the clock not running. Out to Creighton.
That's the only way you can enjoy a free throw miss, is when you get the ball back with a chance to crank up again.
Mitch Holtis along with Charlie Spooner. We call it Arch Madness. We're at Savas Center in St. Louis. 12-13 left in the game here. The number 1 seed Creighton trailing the 5 seed Indiana State 62-49 with 12 minutes left.
Well, Dana Altman got what he wanted out of that, a double screen. His little guard coming out to shoot, but just could not hit it.
And Menzer trying to get a rebound. Stepped out of bounds. Mike Sanzier points the way of Indiana State, and Menzer goes, yeah, okay, good.
What I like about Menzer, he agreed with him both ways.
You know, we could have spent an absolute fortune to get a big-name celebrity in our Prairie Farms ice cream commercials. But instead, we decided to put our money where your mouth is. Quality you can taste from Prairie Farms.
It's not just about making plans. It's about making a difference. It's about neighbors and taking an interest rather than merely earning it. At Edward Jones, it's never just about investing. It's about knowing you and your dreams.
My every hope, my life, my world, it all begins with a dream.
Edward Jones, investing in you and your dreams.
Seattle is surrounded by water, and then it rains. And that means car accidents. When that happens, are you going to have a State Farm agent who knows you personally, or are you going to have no agent and hope for the best?
Over 16,000 State Farm agents.
Our rates are very competitive.
It's no accident. They insure more cars than anyone else.
I'm going to be getting some calls today.
You know, we could have blown an enormous budget building big, elaborate sets for our Prairie Farms ice cream commercials. But instead, we decided to put our money where your mouth is. Taste the homemade goodness of Prairie Farms.
26 points for Michael Menzer of Indiana State. Not bad for a kid that looks like the little drummer boy.
Well, he's found open shots today, but he's done everything else, too. Fights for rebounds, gets on the floor. And when people have guarded him, and Sears has done a good job, but everybody's taken a shot at guarding him. The whole thing about it is he gets to the basket, he gets fouled. It's hard not to just keep showing him over and over and over because he's playing so doggone well.
Career high 26, taking out the 24 he had against Ball State. Rumpa pum pum. 11:48 left in the game. Foul at Indiana State. Creighton's in the bonus. This foul will go against Marcus Howard.
And I think the other thing we haven't mentioned, he's limited Sears to 2 of 7 shooting. And that is Michael Menzer also.
Indiana State is shooting 60%, near 60%. 6 of 11 on threes. 5 of those threes are from Michael Menzer.
And Creighton usually gives up 43% shooting. So that's nearly 20% better. I could do the math and say 17% better, but I'm not doing it.
You're impressing me. You're a wizard with numbers. Taylor gets both free throws. 62-51. Now Creighton is staying within striking distance. Great save by Marcus Howard.
The pass that Indiana State's using a lot today against the press has been diagonal.
Almost a turnover. Indiana State finding its half-court set with 16 to shoot.
Somebody better guard number 5. Well, maybe don't guard him. That may be the answer.
Wren just with 5, but he's got about 7 or 8 boards.
Wren has not looked for shots much today, Mitch, but he's done everything else that his ball club's needed. Right now, Creighton needs to get Corver involved in this offense, and he needs to find a 3.
He's got 9 all in the first half. Well, there you go, Spoon.
That's what you're looking for if you're Dana Altman, and now you want to steal.
Asking it shall be given. They get a 3. They're down 8. The crowd's into it. We're expecting record-setting crowds today here. Bradley and Illinois State play the next game. The 2 most bitter rivals in this league. Corver now 4 for 5 from 3. Menzer is relocating, ready to shoot one up again.
Carroll, I hope, has learned his lesson.
Howard.
It's at 8. Where's Corver?
You can make it 5 real easy. Pass after Avery. Great spin, no finish. Corver can't pry it away.
Good way to get Corver a shot would be, once the ball's been to the post, let him relocate and get something from the outside with an inside-out pass.
And Wren looks like he could use about 2 minutes rest here.
I don't think he can get it today.
Menzer's going to get free throws.
See, that's what Menzer's done this entire day, Mitch. When any time that there's been a question served to you by Creighton, he's had the answer.
Well, we've been talking about Pluto and Star Trek and all this other stuff. But you know what? He's been as good going to the basket as he has been shooting those threes.
You have to be, because if all he could do was stand and shoot, he would never get shots because people would just line up and guard him. Now, what he is a complete basketball player. I mean, just the fact that he's slightly built, and you say, well, there's a little guy out there, and you have a tendency to say, well, can he play this game? Well, obviously he can. He plays in this league. He plays against people like Indiana, and he's successful when he does it.
Well, he's from Batesville, Indiana, which is one of the great Indiana high school basketball teams. And he's playing the role of Jimmy Chitwood today for the Sycamores. They lead by 10, working on an upset. Sears, Pyfrom fouling on the tip out. He's gone, I believe.
Pyfrom's gone, and the difference in him and Chitwood, I saw Chitwood's defensive stance.
Not very good.
It was null and void. This guy can guard, too.
Lyvan Pyfrom was trying to give his team a lift. He's now fouled out with 9:28 left.
Never really got established in the second half. First half when he came in, it looked as though it was going to be business as usual for him. Just didn't happen. And Huss has got some foul problems, so.
And Spoon, it's easy to stand over here and say it, but when you got 4 fouls on that kind of foul, I just want to live for another possession.
Live for another day. That's a decision you have to make. But Pyfrom is trying to bring his team back, and the problem is now you're putting a good free throw shooting team on the line.
Black first second half tallies, 4 of 4 at the line. Indiana State has only missed 1 free throw. They lead by 12, and Creighton can't get over the hump here. Taylor playing with an injury. He's got a chance for a 3-point play.
Nice play by Taylor. Hard play. His shots have not come easy for him today either. The defense on him has been very, very good.
Good angle. Blowing by Matt Berry. We talked about him a lot yesterday. He's playing gimpy. You take a look. He shoots his free throw and makes it. He's got a real bad left leg. He gets a 3-point play.
You can't be hurt now. Nobody can afford to be tired or hurt. You got to play. And you can see that in Sears' face. If we were close, the cameras were close enough. Determination's all over him.
On Menzer, who's got 28 points. Left that a little short. Collision. Bodies.
Who gets
Menzer! Oh, almost scored.
If Menzer had made that one, I think that would have been pretty much it. That's too much magic if he gets this one.
Sears called for his second foul. It's like bowling pins out there.
Nobody's getting cheated on the effort.
Menzer, 29 points, 6 of 6 at the line. Sears will rest for the stretch run. Indiana State, the difference in this game, the game we had earlier in Terre Haute, they've been answering. Creighton wants to make a run and can't. They're seeing Indiana State come back and answer. And Michael Menzer, his first 30-point game of his career. He's got 30 on the noggin.
And very wisely, Royce Waldman says, you can rest. If Sears is going to rest, I'll let you come over and sit down. But watch for horn honks. You may have to go back.
Walker. And a pickup. Barry Welsh, and he loses it. Fouled by Dabbert. Joe Dabbert fouled it. 2 shots for Welsh.
Welsh was fortunate then. He was having quite an adventure. He was taking Menzer's role in this activities and got the loose ball rebound, but then got a little ambitious.
Welsh at the line is 10 of 12 for the year. This is his first free throw since January the 27th at Wichita State. Every point's big in this game. 12-point lead, Indiana State, the 1 seed, in trouble. Walker, the 3. And he's really struggling beyond the arc. Timeout, Creighton.
I think right now, what you've got to do is Creighton is trying to get 8 or 10 points in each possession, and you can't do that. They're going to have to settle down just a little bit and figure out, and that's why this timeout's going to be good for them. They've got to figure out how to get a shot for Corver, how you're going to get Walker with the ball in the lane, do a few things like that, and not panic because there's plenty of time left. I guarantee if you'd ask Royce Waltman, there's way too much time.
Creighton has won 11 games in a row. That's in jeopardy. This game has been high-spirited as we anticipated. And the next one, maybe more. These two teams are arch rivals, and they meet in the next game. Illinois State and Bradley. Spoon, they've never met in St. Louis. Their fans are here in force. They're already growling at each other in the stand.
Well, it's almost as though we've got a blue side of the arena and a red side of the arena.
That should be awesome. Gabbert.
Well, that's what Dana Altman wanted, and he wanted the ball in there. Here's where something's got to happen if you're Creighton. You've got to be able to force a turnover, and you can't have long possessions now because Menzel's getting ready to come back.
Block handles the press. Haynes is on him. Contact. Davert's called for the foul.
Not quite there. The idea is good. Execution was not. He just did not get all the way there. Penetration by Block, you know, the idea, but he just needs to get another step and you get the call. As it is, though, you put the guy on the line where he shoots almost 80%, and that does not bode well.
Great crossover by Block, too, there, Spoon. To lose his defender, Sears has had enough rest. Ray missed by Block. He missed one late in the game yesterday against Southern Illinois, which gave an ulcer to Royce Waltman because he almost saw Southern Illinois fire one in at the buzzer again to take it over. Block as it does it. Indiana State is playing great. Michael Menzer, 30 points. The #1 seed is in jeopardy.
If you enjoy Branson's world-class entertainment, then you'll love Branson's world-class resort, Chateau on the Lake. On a majestic mountaintop overlooking Table Rock Lake, you'll find a grand hotel in the European tradition. The service is impeccable. The surroundings elegant. It's pure luxury all the way. It's what you deserve. Come experience Chateau on the Lake, Branson's only world-class resort. Call 1-888-333-LAKE for reservations.
Sunday night. Two very different places share one very common name, Napa. For top quality parts and accessories, visit your Elgin Napa Auto Parts store. But for service and repair, bring your car to the ASE certified technicians at your local independent Elgin area Napa Auto Care Center. Napa's exclusive National Peace of Mind warranty program guarantees your satisfaction. So hurry in today to one of these Elgin area independent Napa Auto Care Centers or call 1-800-LET-NAPA.
8-Minute Abs would like to celebrate over 5 years of great abs with a special anniversary offer.
I went from this flabby spare tire to a washboard stomach. Thanks, 8-Minute Abs.
A $20 value. You can order 8-Minute Abs right now for only $9.95. 8-Minute Abs uses a series of simple movements scientifically designed for great abs. Call now and we'll include a $5 rebate coupon. That's right, just $4.95 with rebate. Call 1-800-257-5700.
Indiana State trying to pull the upset, leading the top seed Creighton by 11. If you think this is fun, be sure to join us for the 2001 State Farm Missouri Valley Women's Basketball Tournament, March 8th through 10th in Springfield, Missouri. Hoops in the Heartland from the Hammond Student Center. The 2001 State Farm Missouri Valley Women's Basketball Tournament. Don't miss a minute. Mitch, I know you'll be there.
I'll be there with my shoes shine, ready to watch Jackie Stiles, the all-time leading scorer in women's Division I basketball history. Indiana State here leading 70-59. Kyle Korver, I believe he has a cut. He's bleeding, and he's trotting over to the Creighton bench.
Well, I haven't seen this much blood since a Basilio fight.
Well, Corver didn't check in. You still have to check in, even if it's Arch Madness.
Tried to come in under an alias, I see.
My name is John Klein. Nope, that won't work. Creighton needs to make use of every one of these possessions. And the little drummer boy gets a steal.
Look at who's got the shot.
Normally a coach would say, I don't want to take that one, but when he's shooting it today, let him fire.
Bodies are just flying everywhere. I've never seen so many people hit the floor.
Huss, a rare jumper. A tip out. Save.
Backcourt.
And an over and back on Alan Huss. Alan Huss always giving great effort along with Sears.
Nothing's easy. Nothing's easy in this ball game. Of course, I'm watching the rebound play too, and Wren's back there fighting for the rebound. This is just a great effort game. If you ever want to show effort, this would be a good one to show.
7 minutes left. Creighton down 11. Indiana State the 5 seed in the NCAA's a year ago. Foul on Wren that time. I believe it's just the second on Wren.
Not very many bad plays at all by Indiana State. Now Royce Waltman has just had a bad play right there. He smacked himself in the coconut. That cannot be good. I can't believe the jacket's held up this long.
I can't either. He's got a great looking tie, but usually he took the tie and the coat off, his shoes.
How can you tell there's a tie there? It's covered by his
pass.
He thinks they're not going to let him in. Would you like to tell Royce Waltman he's not going to get to come in and coach?
No. The Tasmanian Devil. Usually he's spinning and turning and diving. I tell you what, I love the guy. Really can coach. And he's changed Indiana State's whole persona with basketball. Sears splits a pair at the line. He's missed his last 2 free throws prior to that make. Indiana State has not been to the finals of Arch Madness since 1979. And Larry Bird is the year. They played for the national title against Magic Johnson. 70-60. Indiana State by 10. 6.5 left in the game.
Here's where it's tough right now. If you're Creighton, you get awfully tired chasing people. They're moving around screens. All 5 people are moving. One guy's going to dribble penetrate on you.
Menzer. Sears did a great job. He wants Grimes, but it's taken away by Conte.
Those are the plays that worked for Creighton when they won the ball game at Terre Haute. The run-out play.
To shoot. Sears trying to keep Menzer in check. Taylor, not enough for block.
Oh, nice move. We talked about block earlier and his quickness and how much he was like Walker. Well, that was very similar right there.
I don't know if Taylor can stay with him on that kind of play. Foul. Conte's gone. He's out of there. That's his 5th foul.
And Royce Waltman has just delivered a left to his own head. Followed up his right to his head he had on the last foul.
There's Conte. He prevented a basket and paid the price. So did somebody else in there. This is a war zone here. You don't want to be anywhere close to the court. But that led to that weave basket. Conte is out of here.
4 points and 2 rebounds, but that does not begin to show what all he did today.
Corver at the line has nothing but 3s. Now he has a single.
It's been very, very difficult to find Corver. After his initial surge of baskets, Wren has done a great job of covering him and just not giving him any looks.
Corver's had some great games. What I like, he's had him on the road. 22 against Nebraska with 13 boards, 19 at Tulsa. That's a symbol of toughness. 10-point lead. Creighton.
Creighton, excuse me, Mitch, they just have not been able to force any turnovers. They have not been able to get Indiana State out of sync, and that's a mark of a very good basketball team and a team that's playing with great focus.
And great preparation by Royce Walton, because Creighton now will throw you a zillion different things.
And you have to recognize it on the run, and that's exactly what they've done. Of course, they've had today great leadership out of their seniors.
The 5 seed here, Indiana State trying to get to the finals. The last time a 5 seed made it to the Arch Madness finals was 1994, when the likable Eldon Miller in Northern Iowa lost to Southern Illinois when the Salukis were on their 3-year reign as Valley Tournament champions. Let's go to our Rawlings play of the game. 5:21 left in this one, 72-62. This was the play at the end of the half. As you look at the Indiana State bench, take a look at this one.
How far do we think he's going to shoot this, man?
He's close to 30.
Right back there. Unbelievable.
1 second on the shot clock.
And we said at the end of the half that was going to be great momentum for someone. Someone's either going to have a defensive stand they're going to be really thrilled with, or they're going to have an offensive play that makes them happy. It turned out to be Menzer's turn.
Our Rawlings play of the game, a presentation to one of the great sponsors in the Valley, Rawlings. Also the sponsor of the Coach of the Year luncheon held on Friday here in St. Louis. The last two coaches of the year battling here. This year, Dana Altman, Coach of the Year. Last year, Royce Walton.
When you get into a 5-minute game with Indiana State, tough.
Corver with the defense. Don't count out Creighton. Pull up off the back cut. Menzer's everywhere. And now Creighton will chase rabbits. 4:33 left in the game.
And you're going to have to get out now. Corver's got a bad matchup right here, and he knows it. But there's still going to have to be some defensive pressure exerted.
Wren, foul, trying to get it back.
And if he's not hurt, I don't know how he keeps from it.
He's always hurt. It's just how much is he hurt?
He started this game hurt, yeah. Nice defense right here. And there you see bang, bang. Neither one of those guys, well, and piling on by your own teammate.
The officials don't need whistles, they need penalty flags. Walker is going to get 2 shots here with the clock stopped.
He should get 2 shots, Mitch. For getting hit like that, he should get 2 shots.
Howard back in for Indiana State. Ben Walker, 9 double-doubles in his career, 5 this year. He had 10 rebounds against the Sycamores in Terre Haute. Missed them both, and that really hurts Creighton. Unless they get a 3 here from Sears.
Walker's struggling a little bit right now.
Foul on block. That's his 4th.
Now, if you're Creighton, drawing fouls is wonderful, but you have to hit some free throws. And Walker did not look comfortable on the last 2.
Sears has missed 2. Walker missed those 2. Davert's missed 1. All of those misses in the second half. Walker has 16. He leads Creighton in scoring.
Indiana State's a hard team to come back on because they do such a good job of handling the basketball. And they're going to defend you, Mitch. That's the other thing. You're not going to get any easy baskets. They have stopped Creighton's easy baskets on runouts and turnovers.
8-point lead. Now Creighton's fans get into it. The Piranha press is out, but Menzer breaks it to block.
Now you're going to have to defend for a minimum of 25 seconds.
Inside Avery. Avery's had a huge game. 13 points, Terrence Avery. He didn't even get to double figures combined in the 2 regular season games against Creighton. Sears just missed one. Had that one measured up nice, but left it short.
And now you've got 3.5 minutes. You're going to have to find a way to do something on this end of the floor to change the flow of the game.
Push from behind on Grimes. The St. Louis native has picked up his first foul.
I may be wrong. I think they told Grimes to foul. As if they didn't. He looked like a paddle wheel steamer right there. they're telling him don't foul quite like that.
You mentioned that if Indiana State was going to have a crack today, Avery had to give him good minutes. He's not only done that, he's given them points and rebounds. Creighton's going to go small here. Take out Lindemann and Klein, put in Walker and Terrell Taylor. It's almost an offense-defense substitution.
Really, if you're Creighton, you've got to find a way to get Taylor or Corver open.
Still an 11-point lead for Indiana State. They've been holding off the 1 seed.
New TV? Yeah. Watch this.
RCA's experts understand you want the sharpest picture possible. So we developed the RCA digital monitor and receiver. The best picture today and unsurpassed high-definition quality for tomorrow. RCA, changing entertainment again.
Some memories last. Like when you said for better or for worse, you probably didn't expect the for worse part so soon. At empty times like these, there's nothing better than seeing Phillips 66. It's a welcome sign that says we have high-quality, super clean gasoline. And every tank full helps you get the most from your car. So while life may not always perform the way you want, Phillips 66 gasolines do.
Proof again that Phillips 66 is the performance company.
And now for something dramatically different from Dodge. The all-new Dodge Grand Caravan. Simply put, it's the best minivan ever from the people who invented the minivan. And now with low 0.9 financing on most caravans, you'll find that different may actually be even better. Dodge Caravan. Different.
Now the discussion starts. Creighton, Spoon is 24-6. They've won their last 11 games. They won the league by 2 games. What's their RPI?
Their RPI, as shown to me, was 23.
You got to put them in the tournament.
There's no question in my mind that they'll be in the tournament.
So there's some major conferences here nervous watching this game, because the Valley's going to get a team in I don't think they're expecting to get in if Creighton loses, but this game is far from over.
Changed the defense that time. Instead of having Corver up on the ball, Corver dropped back. Corver hit a hard shot there too, Mitch. You see, they're not going to give him the 3, so they force him to put the basketball on the floor. That's a tough shot. If you can make your opponents have to shoot shots like that, that's what Indiana State's done all day, you have a great chance to win.
And I'm going to say Corver, you talked about his improvement. And I mentioned Menzer more than just a three-point shooter. Corver is too. He'll take you on the dribble.
He's a much improved basketball player from the player last year. Last year he could stand and shoot the thing. This year you see him doing everything. He shoots it, puts it on the floor, but he's a good defender. They've got him on top of the press. He's very, very active.
Creighton first field goal in 8 possessions. 75-66. Creighton has cut it down to single digits. But Indiana State has had answers all throughout the day. Menzer against the press. Both teams in the double bonus. Corver chasing around. Menzer by Walker. 2 free throws. Michael Menzer. Sears couldn't stay with him.
Couldn't handle him. Well, there's possibly a good sign if you're, I'm not sure for which team, but the jacket is gone. The tie is being held in place by his get out of jail free.
He's really worried about getting locked out of this tournament, isn't he, with that pass right there. Menzer, 31 points. There's the coach.
Once the game gets to the half court down on Royce Waltman's end, he's going to be in good shape. The thing for Creighton's chance comes after they shoot. If they can shoot and score and get a steal and a steal again, then they've got a chance in this ball game.
Indiana State just keeps answering. Corver for three. Long. Sears was spotted up. Taylor takes it inside the arc. Creighton keeps it.
It doesn't have to be all threes right now if you're Creighton. That's the thing about it. You start thinking, well, we're down 11. We've got to get a three. The main thing is to get a basket and get your press set.
Conte's fouled out. Avery just has two. There's one thought, and Taylor loses his concentration. Unforced turnover by Creighton.
You saw that on the play before when Corver fumbled the ball on just a ball reversal. Creighton is at a pace right now that's not conducive to them doing well.
Foul in the backcourt on Sears. Block will shoot. Now, one thing, people say we got to put Creighton in the tournament. You have to. All the criteria that the committee supposedly uses to put teams in the tournament, Creighton gets an A. They get a 4.0 in every one of those. But they were working on a great seed, Charlie. If they would have come through this thing 26-6, this will slip them in that seeding, though.
It'll slip in the seeding. There's no question about that. The loss hurts you. But the whole thing about it is they still should be obviously in the tournament. And as you mentioned, there'll be some other leagues now that'll be looking at this going, oh no. Because that means there'll be two teams.
Yep. And only expected to be one this year in all reality. After the league had two in last year, Indiana State got in against Texas. In fact, these two teams were in last year. 2 years ago, three made it. Layup Walker.
And that's what I mean. That's a smart play. You've got to get points on the board and get a chance to set your press.
Indiana State has really handled the all-court press today at Creighton.
Walker's trying to draw a foul. he has to tell the officials, I'm fouling.
Well, he wants to foul Matt Berry. And the reason is Matt Berry, the freshman from Tulsa, Washington High School, 44% at the foul stripe.
He was fouling him on one side of the floor. Then he went to the other side and said, please, I'm fouling.
Berry was like the mechanical rabbit at the Greyhound track. Everybody was chasing him.
And then he hits the free throw.
And then he makes the free throw.
Yeah.
What a great high school Tulsa, Washington has been for putting out players. I like the job Royce Waltman and staff has done recruiting too.
Royce Waltman's got players who will listen to him. And that's what you need. That's what you have to have.
Sears, that one deflected by block. Indiana State's working on a win here. The Sycamores lead by 12. 1:26 left to go in the game. And the 1 seed, Creighton. They've won 2 consecutive Valley Tournament championships. The 1 seed is in real danger of exiting the tournament in the semis.
Well, if this lead holds up, Mitch, I'm really curious. Who do you want to interview from Indiana State?
Let's see. I thought about Matt Broerman. He would give us a clinic on three-point shooting.
The trainer, that's it. The trainer.
I want the little drummer boy right there. Miracle Michael Menzer. That's who I have.
Kind of day he's having, he'll interview you.
Yeah. Spoon, you won a lot of games with kids like that. You love a kid like that. And Creighton's full of those kind of guys, too.
Yeah, neither one of these teams short on character, on good kids. We mentioned that earlier, Mitch. It's I think worth repeating. You've got two teams here playing hard as they can play. Now, they've run into each other from every possible angle. We have not seen anyone yap at anybody. We haven't seen anybody ball a fist up. Haven't seen anybody point a finger. All you've seen is whatever 10 kids are on the floor, just playing as hard as they can play. And I think the respect that's between the two programs shows. And I think that's neat.
Marcus Howard, free throw, 8 points. A look at the Creighton bench. They'll get ready to go to the big dance, because they're headed to the NCAA tournament. 83-68, 15-point lead for Indiana State. A minute left. Steal by Block. Here comes your exclamation point.
Well, that just, if there was any doubt, and I don't think there has been for the last 3 minutes, simply because Creighton has not been able to force anything that Indiana State hadn't been able to handle. And this just, all this does is this just hurts your feelings a little.
And I don't think Indiana State forgot that game in Terre Haute. We said it changed the season for both teams. Over zooms in a 3. But Indiana State says, you know what? We went to the tournament last year, played Texas. We want to go back.
Well, Indiana State now is going to have a little bit of extra time, and people always laugh about this, but the team that plays the first game of the day, believe it or not, has a little bit more time to rest and to organize. Their coaches have a little bit more time. You're not going to do any great coaching. You're not going to invent the wheel, but you're going to have a little bit more time to prepare, and that is important.
And a little more time to rest. And sometimes 2 or 3 hours, Spoon. You and I have seen it. NCAA conference tournaments, that extra couple hours of rest can mean a big difference tomorrow night.
I don't think there's any question in that. I really do feel that way.
And Indiana State needs a little of that rest. If you think this one's good, get ready for the Hatfield McCoys. They have loaded the shotguns. They have squared off at the top of the mountain. Two most bitter rivals in this league, Illinois State and Bradley, who have never met here in St. Louis, are ready to meet in our second semifinal game.
This one, for all intents and purposes, is over. Menzel's going to dribble it out. That's a pretty fitting little look right there. You've got two tough, excellent little basketball players standing there.
Two quality guys. Block over Taylor. How about that? Well, if the other player's the exclamation point, what was that? 87-71. Korver's going to make it look a little more respectable.
I don't think really Indiana State was wanting to score. It wasn't that big a deal with them. But winning this game obviously was. You see two guys that have done a great job this year, and their assistants and their team shaking hands.
The lowest seed to advance to the final since 1994 is going to the championship game. Indiana State will play for the automatic bid to the NCAA tournament tomorrow night at 8 o'clock. Indiana State is advancing to the finals for the first time since Larry Bird played for the Sycamores back in 1979. Michael Menzer, a career-high 32 points. Indiana State is headed to the finals. They have upset the Creighton Blue Jays, who lose for the first time in 12 ball games.
Well, you had the tight basketball game you needed to have right there. Indiana State did what they had to do to win. This was not a gift. They took it.
John Walters, we expected a spirited game. How about the Sycamores?
What a great win for Royce Waldman's ball club, and we knew that they had to have a big effort out of that backcourt of Menzer and Block, and the two of them combined for 52 points in this ball game as Indiana State, the number 5 seed, pulls the big upset, knocking off top-seeded Creighton. So there will be a new champion at the Missouri Valley Conference Tournament. Creighton, the two-time defending champs, are eliminated in the semifinals, but still with 24 victories, a school record, they still look very strong for an at-large bid to the NCAA tournament. The final score, Indiana State 87 and Creighton 74. We'll be right back.
Big green combine, edgy at the wheel, under a big sky, working in the field. From the brewery crew to the lager-in man, get it to you fast and fresh as they can. This is from the people working hard every day, talking about the folks who get this bun my way. This bun's for you, and you and you and you. This bun's for you.
We were there when you babies really began to boom. We were there when you were a generation on the road, and when you were surrounded by the children of peace and love. We were even there when you had children and love, if not always peace. And now that you're on the other side of the generation gap, there's no one better to talk to about your changing life insurance needs than the State Farm agent you've always trusted to care for your car, your home, and you. State Farm is there for you, because State Farm is there for life.
Hey, you've been there, haven't you? You wonder, did I make that last deposit? Can I write a check today? Do I feel lucky? Look, you shouldn't have to guess. This is the information age. So check your account on the internet, free from Commerce Bank. See what's cleared, what hasn't, 24 hours a day. Call them or visit their website. And then you can depend on internet banking instead of your luck. Hey, it's your money.
Well, this is 74. What a terrific performance by the senior Michael Menzer, and you expect your seniors to come up big at this time of the year. That's exactly what he did. Let's go down to the floor and Mitch Holtis.
John, let's first talk to Royce Waltman. Coach, your guys had a look at the beginning of the game that you were going right after the #1 seed. Tell us about your ball club.
Well, I think we had some disappointments this year, and our mindset coming into the tournament was like, hey, you get another chance. And we had a hard-fought game last night, and I think that really made the guys feel this is a tremendous opportunity. Let's make the most of it, and they come out with a lot of energy.
Royce, it felt like you guys, it looked like you guys were rested, had a little more bounce in your legs from the end of the regular season.
Well, after the last regular season game, we said we got to get mentally and physically fresh, and we just didn't do much except walk through and shoot a little bit, and I think it's paid off.
Now, let's talk about your guards. Michael Menzer, a career-high 32 points.
I mean, he was sensational today. I mean, he shot the ball. He created shots for himself. I mean, the shot he made at halftime, that was worth more than 3 points. I mean, that just sent us in a certain way. He picked up steals. He had assists. He always plays like that. He just played a little better today.
Now, you got some help from unexpected sources. Yesterday, Howard lifted you. Today, Avery gives you 13 points with Conte and foul trouble.
Well, I was really pleased with Terrence because he struggled on and off, and yet he has the ability to do it, wants to do it, and I know is really pleased that he was able to contribute today.
It is the first Indiana State visit to the finals since 1979. The first time a 5 seed has been to the finals since 1994. I always ask you, what do you add to your program? What does this do for the big picture?
Oh, I mean, anytime you're playing in a tournament championship and kids see you, I mean, first of all, you have a recruiting benefit. And then it just generates interest in your own town. The people of Terre Haute have been unbelievable with us, but this just gets more people involved. So getting in championship play is always a great benefit.
Last year, you played Texas in the NCAA tournament. You're now 40 minutes away from going back again. Did your kids kind of sense like it wouldn't be bad to go back?
Well, our goal was go back and this time win. Well, we got a big task just to go back first.
Royce, outstanding job. Congratulations on a great effort.
Thank you very much, Mitch.
Good luck tomorrow night. Now, we go to the star of the day. I called you the little drummer boy today. They call him Miracle Michael in Terre Haute, Indiana. A career high. It wasn't all the assists today, it was the scoring. Tell us about how the scoring came to you.
Well, I was just taking what they gave me, and they were denying Keelan and Matt really hard, so the lanes opened up, and usually I can't get all the way to bucket, and today, unfortunately, I was able to get there.
All right, we're going to let you admire your own work here. Going to show you some replays. Tell us about these plays.
That's an unbelievable shot by Sears. Somehow he hit the shot and able to damage a nerve here, and I couldn't feel my fingers for about 5 minutes, but it's all right. It's a little sore. This one, Matt just had a great ball screen, and I was able to get that avenue, like I said. And I don't think this was a halftime shot, and I don't know. I was feeling it right there. I had to lay it beforehand, and it felt good, and luckily it went in. So it was a big momentum lift, and we carried it on the second half. That one, I don't know what that was. That was a luck.
You were taking it to the basket today. Yeah. You were attacking the basket. Why?
This is our last chance, and for me and Matt and those guys, it's our last chance ever, and we don't want to leave anything out on the floor. So we came here to win 3 games. We've won 2 of them, but we still got a long ways to go.
I stepped it off at about 30 feet, that last shot at the end of the half. How deep do you shoot them in practice?
Not that deep, but Guys say I shoot it deep, but it's all instinct. It's just letting it go. So luckily, sometimes I go in.
The Batesville Bomber, the little drummer boy, Miracle Michael. Michael Menzer, great job. A career high today for him. 32 points, I believe, for him. John Walters, it was a remarkable performance. Indiana State is sniffing for a trip to the big dance.
All right, thank you, Mitch. You're right, we're going to run out of nicknames for Michael Menzer. What a terrific story it is to see a senior step up in a do-or-die situation like this for Indiana State and have such a terrific basketball game. Well, you said it at the top of our broadcast that these two rivals have so much respect for one another. They feel like they're mirror images of one another, and that was exactly the case here this afternoon as they played a blood and guts game at the Savas Center. Injuries left and right. Nobody talking smack to one another, though. They just had a great deal of respect for one another and played 40 minutes of the hardest basketball you'll ever see. And in the end, it was Indiana State snapping its 5-game losing streak to Creighton. And Creighton's overall 11-game winning streak is gone. But Royce Waltman's team is on to the championship game of Arch Madness. They'll play in the Missouri Valley Conference Championship game against either Illinois State or Bradley. And if you think there was intensity on the floor in this game, wait till our second semifinal. You can't beat this, folks. It's Arch Madness in St. Louis, and we're just getting warmed up.